you know, the game is getting so much removed from what it really was
Yeah,
originally was, the concept, the idea, the vision, all of the stuff that made this game um a simulation, and all the things that made this game different from other simulation games. You're seeing a lot of that getting removed piece by piece by piece by piece. And the reason why is because they're trying to stabilize the game, because supposedly it's not able to be as viable in a stability state whenever it's ported over to consoles and stuff like that, which I don't necessarily agree. I think that's a matter of competency, and I also think that's a matter of having the right people, the right team to be able to get things like that to happen. Because it's like I said before, if you have a person who tells you, "No, that's not possible. No, this can't be done." Well, you find the person who can actually make your vision become a reality and
yeah,
actually make things happen. And I think right now there's a lot of people who cannot make things happen. And so we're seeing that transpire. We're seeing a lot of people saying, no, this can't happen. No, this isn't a possibility. No, that's not realistic and stuff like that. Like, and that's because there's certain people on the team that they're just not capable of being able to give the game what it needs. Uh, whether it's because it's the wrong members, the wrong people, it's showing clearly that the team that is right now is not competent to produce the product that was originally, a vision when it was ESBC.
great. Sub Leafy.
Hey, Po, how's it going?
What's
All
up,
right.
Lee?
Dad, I was trying to do a YouTube. I gotta do it live straight. I gotta reset it to do it live. It should have did it just by me turning on my camera. So what's up, Leafy? Talk about something. Let us know.
Look,
Talk
huh?
talk about something. What you think about what's going on in the Discord? Anything catch your eye or your attention?
Um, you know, I'm starting to want to leave the Undisputed Discord. There's so many excuses you're coming up with about why the game is being like broken down. First, it was about like the physics. The physics, I don't know, man. I don't believe that a boxing game is pushing the new gen hardware. I don't think for a second that a boxing game in Unity is pushing these consoles to the limit, and that's why we can't have like the good physics we had on the early access days. I refuse to believe that. I
What is
feel
the
like they're just
excuse?
not like optimizing it. Like they're not trying to figure out how to make it optimized so it works better, and that's why they're having to cut down the physics. But it doesn't make sense because these engines should be better than what we had like 10 or 15 years ago, where we had like proper physics for boxing, and now it's so watered down, and it feels like the studio doesn't have the right people to actually make a good or proper boxing game. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
posted a list
It's
on
disappointing.
I posted a list on LinkedIn to all the people that they really need, because I'm looking at their staff and looking at what they need. They don't have it. I think they have like two or three people, no, about four people on the staff that they really need. I'm like, yo, who's hiring these people? Makes no sense whatsoever. Shit.
Yeah. I think it's. Hang on. I gotta search this real quick before I say it, but I feel like Bill Kinsler. Yeah, he's the director of product authenticity. at SCI. He's been in that position since May of 2024. He's been in that position for like a year and 3 months. So does that mean he has a say in like who's getting hired and like what should be going out? Because if so, that's messed up. Like why would an EA guy be in control of what the product should look like and how and whether or not it's authentic? I thought this was supposed to be the 2K of boxing, not the EA of boxing. Max said he wanted 2K of boxing, and then all of a sudden now we got Will Kinsler on the director of product authenticity at SCI. It's like, dude.
Yeah, that don't make. You trying to say something, Aaron?
No, I just said I don't get it.
So what is the director of product authenticity? Is that the person who establishes like how the gameplay should be constructed? Is that what that's what that position does?
Everything goes through him basically.
Yep. Okay. Well then I feel like if that is the route that they decided to take, it probably wasn't the best. Just in terms of if you're gonna look for somebody who is gonna be in that position, you should probably look for somebody who is more knowledgeable of the sport. Probably somebody who has more experience, not just in the gaming field or in the simulated structure of what sports are and stuff like that in a game realm. You should probably look for somebody who's specifically more knowledgeable when it comes to boxers and stuff like that, not just like historic icons. Like they're more in tune of the now, but also have a reasonable knowledge landscape of historic when it comes to boxing. So it's like, that person they have the understanding of the past, but they also have a good fine-tuned understanding of what the present is as of now. So when it comes to like bringing in a certain person, it's not like saying like, oh, they should should hire somebody who just is really smart in boxing. No, it's like they obviously have a clear history that shows that they know what they're doing. They've been in the same position throughout different in different game constructions and stuff like that. So I feel like when it comes to the whole product of authenticity, I feel like the hire could have been better, but I won't make that the focus. I think that when it comes to the person who's doing all the hires in general, I feel like that should have also been. It should have been more thought out.
Yeah,
I feel like. I feel like when it comes to a lot of the hires, it's kind of just like, it's not that I'm doubting the criteria of certain people. I feel like it's just it's like you have a certain amount of people and you're supposed to choose one person or two people. You're going to choose you should choose the two people who are most capable of benefiting your product and the vision of what you're trying to portray in your game. So when you're hiring certain people just off the credence of, oh, this person has knowledge because they've made video games or they've directed certain games, that's not enough. That's like asking the Last of Us people in that field and telling them, okay, well, you know what, you should hire somebody from EA because they've made games and stuff like that. They have all the knowledge in the world. Maybe they have the knowledge in that field, but they don't have the knowledge needed for this game. So just hiring people just to hire or just because they have a certain line of experience, it's not enough. You also need somebody who actually has knowledge of what you're actually trying to portray in your game.
Facts. And the thing with me is they had games that came out before like boxing games or whatever, sports games or whatever, you should like with 2K, you say what how did they hire them people for that game? What kind of developers they hired to make it look and feel like basketball or other sports games? They hired people for them games, and them games look, beautiful, and they play like somewhat like what they want them to play.